This is an iHeart podcast.
This is History's Heroes. People with purpose, brave ideas, and the courage to stand alone, including a pioneering surgeon who rebuilt the shattered faces of soldiers in the First World War.
You know, he would look at these men and he would say, "Don't worry, Sonny, you'll have as good a face as any of us when I'm done with you."
Join me, Alex von Tunzelmann, for History's Heroes. Subscribe to History's Heroes wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Bob Crawford, host of American History Hotline, a different type of podcast. You, the listener, ask the questions.
Did George Washington really cut down a cherry tree?
Were JFK and Marilyn Monroe having an affair?
And I find the answers.
I'm so glad you asked me this question.
This is such a ridiculous story.
You can listen to American History Hotline on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, from Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This August, we're bringing back some of our favorite Womanica episodes you might have missed. All month, we'll be talking about pink-collar workers. These women revolutionized jobs that have traditionally been called women's work. Through their lives, they created a more just and humane world for us today. With that, here's one of our favorite episodes. Hello, from Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This month, we're talking about workers, women who fought for labor rights and shaped the way we do business today. They advocated and innovated to make the office, wherever it is, a more equitable place. Today's Womanican helped the poor, oppressed, and overlooked. After seeing the conditions suffered by self-employed women in India, she spent her life fighting to get them more recognition and a path towards self-reliance. Let's talk about Ela Bhatt. In 1918, Mahatma Gandhi fasted for 3 days. He stood in solidarity with striking textile mill workers in Ahmedabad, India. It was the first of many peaceful actions Gandhi would stage to bring justice for the poor and disadvantaged in India. 15 years later, in that same Indian city, another revolutionary was born. She would draw inspiration from that peaceful revolutionary who fought for those without a voice. But she'd also forge her own path. Ela was born on September 7, 1933, in Ahmedabad. Her father was a lawyer who worked with non-government organizations and charity groups. Her mother was an activist who focused on women's education and social welfare. In 1952, Ela graduated from college with a degree in English. Then she went on to earn a law degree. She won a gold medal for being first in her class. 2 years later, she met and married Ramesh Bhatt. Theirs was a love marriage, which meant it wasn't arranged. It was unusual for the time, but then Ela was an unusual woman. Ela lived in the western Indian state of Gujarat, which had a budding textile industry. Most of the mill workers were men, who were protected by labor laws and enjoyed benefits. Women workers, meanwhile, were part of India's informal sector. They were paid almost nothing, didn't receive benefits, and were not unionized. Ela sought to change this. In 1971, Ela met with a group of headloaders, women who carried cloth on their heads between wholesale and retail markets. They told Ela that the merchants were cheating them out of their money. So Ela helped them organize a group to collectively demand better pay. Soon, that group turned into the Self-Employed Women's Association, or SEWA. Ela brought together headloaders, cigarette rollers, potters, weavers, and other workers in the informal sector. Women who, for years, had been abused by the system, and they were ready for a fight. At first, the Labor Department refused to recognize SEWA as a trade union. The women had no recognized employer, so there was no one to struggle against. But the group was persistent. They believed that just because women's work took place in the home or on the street, that did not mean it should be overlooked. Why should there be a difference between worker and worker, Ela argued. In 1972, SEWA became the world's first all-women trade union in the unorganized sector. It grew into one of the region's largest cooperatives, a safety net for women who'd been left on their own. With the help of SEWA, women gained skills in things like pottery, embroidery, and spinning, and turned those skills into lucrative businesses. They got jobs that were previously only available to men, like working in mills, construction, and agriculture. For the first time, women were respected as business owners with bargaining power, not just as wives and daughters. Ela also helped found the Cooperative Bank of SEWA, India's first women's bank. It set women up with their own bank accounts and retirement funds, giving them even more economic freedom. Ela's work did not go unnoticed. In 1985 and 1986, she received two of India's highest civilian honors, the Padma Bhushan and the Padma Shri. In 1986, Ela was appointed to the upper house of India's parliament. There, she headed the National Commission on Self-Employed Women for several years. In 2007, Ela became a member of the Elders. Founded by Nelson Mandela, the organization brings together leaders from around the world to fight injustice and bring about peace. On November 2, 2022, Ela passed away in Ahmedabad. She was 89 years old. Thanks for listening to this best of episode of Womanica. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. Join us tomorrow for another one of our favorite episodes honoring pink-collar workers. Talk to you then.
This is History's Heroes. People with purpose, brave ideas, and the courage to stand alone, including a pioneering surgeon who rebuilt the shattered faces of soldiers in the First World War.
You know, he would look at these men and he would say, "Don't worry, Sonny, you'll have as good a face as any of us when I'm done with you."
Join me, Alex von Tunzelmann, for History's Heroes. Subscribe to History's Heroes wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's start with a quick puzzle. The answer is Ken Jennings' appearance on The Puzzler with A.J. Jacobs. The question is, what is the most entertaining listening experience in podcast land? Jeopardy truthers believe in...
I guess they would be conspiracy theorists.
That's right.
They gave you the answers and you still blew it.
The Puzzler. Listen on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is an iHeart podcast.